It started 3 nights ago. I was sitting on my couch, watching some dumb movie, not really hungry, just bored. I thought about ordering a burger. Just a small one. Fries, maybe a milkshake too. But I didn't open any app. I didn't say it out loud. I just thought about it. That's all. 15 minutes later, there was a knock on my door. I live alone. Top floor. No one ever visits without texting first. I opened the door slowly. There he was. A delivery guy. Wearing a black jacket. No company logo. Just holding a brown paper bag. Before I could say anything, he smiled, wide, like his face had practiced smiling but never quite got it right, and said, "Here you go, sir." He handed me the bag. I looked at it. My name was written on the sticker seal in thick, black ink. But I never ordered anything. I didn't, I started to say. He turned and walked away. Like he didn't want to talk. Or couldn't. I stepped back inside, closed the door, and looked at the bag again. Inside, a burger, fries, and a vanilla milkshake. Exactly what I was craving. Still hot. Still fresh. I checked every app on my phone. Nothing. No charges. No delivery history. No recent orders. I shouldn't have eaten it. But I did. Because it felt like it was meant for me. That night I had strange dreams. I saw myself at the door. But I wasn't alone. I was standing next to someone. A man with no face. Just pale skin where his eyes should be. He kept whispering, "Do you want more?" I woke up sweating. The bag was still in the trash. But the receipt was gone. I told myself the first time was just a mistake. A weird mix-up. Maybe someone with the same name had ordered nearby. Maybe the guy messed up the address. It was weird, yeah, but not impossible. That's what I told myself. Until the next night. It was around 9 p.m. I hadn't eaten dinner yet. I was just scrolling my phone, trying to decide what I was in the mood for. I thought about Thai food, spicy noodles, maybe some spring rolls. But I didn't order anything. I didn't even open the app. And then, knock knock. That same knock. Slow. Hollow. Like he was using just his knuckles. No rush. My chest tightened. I stood still, waiting. Another knock. Same rhythm. Like before. I walked to the door quietly and peeked through the peephole. It was him. Same black jacket. Same pale face. Same blank stare. He was holding a white plastic bag this time. And just like last time, I opened the door and he spoke before I did. He smiled. Too wide. Like his face didn't know when to stop. Pad Thai. Extra chili. Just how you like it, Mr. Lawson. My name. Not just on a receipt. He said it. Out loud. I hadn't told him. I didn't ask questions. I just took the bag with a shaky hand. Wait, I said. How did you? He was already turning around. Walking off down the hall. Not running. Just leaving. I stood there holding the food. Smelled perfect. I looked down at the bag. No receipt this time. Just a napkin inside. One word written in red ink. Enjoy. That night, I didn't sleep. Every sound in my apartment felt too loud. Every silence, too quiet. And when I finally closed my eyes, I dreamed I was standing in my kitchen, watching myself eat. I tried to take control. No more thinking about food. No more wondering. No more opening the door. I wanted something normal. Something real. So this time, I opened an app. A real one. Picked a random taco place across town. One I'd never tried before. I ordered a burrito. Just to test it. Payment went through. Delivery confirmed. Estimated time, 38 minutes. I watched the map closely. I could see the little scooter icon moving on the screen. It was comforting, honestly, like reality was still real. Then, at exactly the 22-minute mark, a knock. Slow, hollow, familiar. I didn't even look through the peephole. I already knew. I opened the door. It was him. Same man. Same blank eyes. Same black jacket. Holding a white paper bag. He didn't speak at first. He just stared, like he was waiting for me to ask why. Then he slowly held the bag out. I looked down. The logo wasn't from the taco place I ordered from. It was unbranded. Plain. But inside? A burrito. Wrapped in foil. The exact one I had just ordered. I looked back at him. My voice came out dry. "You're not from El Gallo Taco, are you?" That smile again. Too many teeth. No joy in it. He whispered, "I'm always from where you need me to be." I stepped back. My legs went cold. I didn't take the food. I shut the door in his face. But I swear, the knock came again. Softer this time. 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. When I opened the door 5 minutes later, he was gone. But the bag was sitting on my doorstep. Inside it, along with the burrito, was another napkin. This one said, "Don't pretend you don't want this." I didn't eat that night, but I kept the food anyway, because I had the feeling if I threw it away, he'd bring it back. I made a rule. If he came again, I would say something. Ask who he was. Demand to know what was going on. I even practiced in the mirror. "Why do you keep coming here? What do you want from me?" But when the knock came again that night, I froze. It was the same sound. So rhythmic. Familiar now. Like he owned the timing. I stood at the door, breathing hard, hand hovering over the doorknob. Then I grabbed it and pulled it open fast, like maybe I could catch him off guard. But he was just standing there. Like he'd been waiting. He held out another bag. Greasy. Slightly crumpled. The smell hit me instantly. Fries and a double cheeseburger. It was what I'd been thinking about earlier on my walk home from work. I didn't even say it out loud. Just a craving in my head. I swallowed hard and looked up at him. That smile again. Too clean. Too still. Like he'd cut it out of a magazine and taped it to his face. "I don't want this," I said. I didn't order anything. He didn't move. Didn't blink. Just held the bag closer. His voice was quiet this time. Almost like a whisper through a cracked window. "Yes, you did." I looked at the fries inside the bag. They were cold. The burger was warm. The fries weren't. That detail made my skin crawl. Like he didn't care if it made sense anymore. I looked back up. His eyes weren't just blank. They were hollow. Like there was something else looking out from inside him. Like he was only a mask. "I don't want this," I said again louder. But he didn't seem to hear. He stepped forward. Just one step. Close enough that I could see something on his collar. A tiny red smear, like dried ketchup or blood. I slammed the door. I locked it. Deadbolt. And then I pressed my back against it. He didn't knock again. Didn't speak. But when I looked through the peephole 5 minutes later, he was still there. Just standing. Holding the bag. Smiling. This time, I didn't slam the door. I took the food. I don't know why. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I just didn't want to fight anymore. Maybe I was starting to understand something I couldn't say out loud. He didn't speak. Just handed me the bag and walked away, disappearing down the hallway like he always did. Like smoke in the dark. I locked the door behind me and placed the bag on the kitchen counter. I stared at it for a long time before opening it. Burger. Fries. Exactly what I had been craving all day but never said out loud. Not even once. I reached into the bottom of the bag, expecting a napkin with creepy writing like before. But instead, I pulled out a receipt. Not a normal one. At first glance, it looked like a typical fast food printout. But the more I read, the colder I felt. Under the item list, instead of prices, there were sentences. Double cheeseburger. You cried in the break room today. Fries. You didn't tell anyone why. Coke. You miss her. You hate that you still miss her. I dropped the receipt. My hands were shaking. No one knew about the break room. No one was there. I hadn't told a single soul. I bent down and picked it back up. At the very bottom, in smaller print, was a final line. You will eat this, even though you're afraid. I threw it all in the trash. The receipt. But then I stood there, staring at the garbage can like it was going to move. Like maybe he'd show up again to take it back. I didn't sleep that night. I kept checking the front door every hour. At 3:47 a.m., I walked into the kitchen to get water. And the bag was sitting on the counter again. Same food. Still warm. The receipt was gone. I stayed busy all day. Did laundry. Left the apartment just to avoid being alone. I didn't think about food. Not once. I didn't even let myself get hungry. I chewed gum, drank water. Forced my thoughts to stay blank. Like if I didn't want anything, he wouldn't come. But I was wrong. At exactly 6:12 p.m., I heard the knock. 2 soft taps and 1 louder one. Same pattern as always. I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth. Not hungry. Not thinking. Just standing there with a mouth full of mint and a heart full of dread. I didn't move right away. I just stared at my reflection in the mirror. My face looked pale. My eyes sunken. I looked like I hadn't slept in weeks, which was probably true. Another knock. Firmer. He was out there. Even though I hadn't thought about food. Even though I hadn't asked for anything. I opened the door slowly. He stood there, same as always. Still, smiling. But this time, the bag was different. It was black. Not brown. Not plastic. A deep black paper bag with no writing on it. No receipt. No napkin. No smell. I didn't take it. I looked him in the eye and said, I didn't think of anything. I didn't want anything. You shouldn't be here. His smile never moved. But his eyes twitched. Just a flicker. Like something behind them blinked. Then he said it. Softly. Like a parent talking to a child. You thought about nothing. And I brought it. He handed me the black bag. I don't know why I took it. My hands moved on their own. I backed up. Shut the door. Locked it. Set the bag down on my table and just stared at it for 10 straight minutes. Then I opened it. Inside was nothing. Just black tissue paper. No food. No receipt. Just emptiness. But when I reached into the bag, something cold touched my hand. I yanked my arm back. There was nothing there. But my fingers were wet. Like I dipped them into a glass of ice water. Later, I checked the security footage from the hallway. The camera glitched the moment he arrived. The screen went black for exactly 66 seconds. When it came back on, he was gone. But the bag was still on the floor. Just sitting there, waiting for me. I didn't sleep much after the black bag. I left it on the table. I couldn't throw it away, couldn't touch it again. Every time I passed by it, I felt cold. Like standing next to an open fridge, but worse, like the chill was inside my body, not around it. That night, I blocked the door with a chair. I know it sounds stupid, but I needed something, anything between me and him. It was quiet for hours. Too quiet. No knocks. No footsteps in the hallway. No deliveries. Just silence. Then, around 2:47 a.m., I heard it. Not a knock. Not the bag. A voice. From the hallway. It said my name. Not loud, but just enough to make the hairs on my neck stand up. I thought maybe I was imagining it. Sleep deprived. Anxious. But then it said it again. Louder. Clear. But it didn't sound like him, not the delivery guy. It sounded like me. It sounded like my own voice, calling out from the other side of the door. My heart was beating so hard I thought it might explode. I didn't move, didn't even breathe. I just stared at the door. Then I heard it again. Open the door. Still my voice, but colder. Wrong. I whispered back. Who are you? It repeated me. Same words, same tone, but off by just a second. Like it had to hear me first, then mimic. I didn't open the door. Instead, I slowly backed away. And the moment I stepped into the hallway leading to my kitchen, the front door handle shook violently. Not a little. It rattled like someone was trying to rip it off. Then it stopped. No voice. No knock. Just silence again. I checked the cameras on my phone. Nothing. No one was there. But when I played the footage back, right after the doorknob shook, there was static. A line of distortion. And one frame. Just one. Of me. Standing outside my own door. Staring straight into the peephole. I didn't want to fall asleep after that night. But I couldn't fight it anymore. I lay down on the couch with the lights on. The black bag still sat on the table. I didn't dare touch it again. I just stared at it until my eyes grew heavy. And then I dreamed. It wasn't like a normal dream. It felt sharp, focused. I was walking down a hallway that didn't end. Doors on either side. All closed. But every few steps, one would creak open a little. And from each open door came my voice, whispering words I didn't understand. Until one door opened fully. Inside was a small room. A chair. A table. And on the table, a hot bowl of soup. The smell hit me hard. It was my mother's old recipe. The kind of soup she used to make when I was sick. A dish I hadn't eaten or even thought about in over 15 years. I stepped forward to taste it, and then I woke up. My heart was racing, my skin cold, and the smell, it was still there. I sat up quickly. There was steam rising from the table. Another bag, a fresh one. This time, not black. What? No knock, no alert, just that I didn't want to look inside. But I had to, so I opened it. It was the exact soup from my dream. Still warm, still steaming. Even had the same broken blue bowl my mom used to serve it in. I backed away, nearly knocking over a lamp. There's no way anyone could have known that. No way. Then my phone buzzed. A new message. Unknown number. No contact. It said only 2 words. You're welcome. I didn't touch the soup. I just stared at it until it went cold. I thought about throwing it away, but something told me not to. All day I felt watched. Even when I closed the blinds. Even when I turned off every smart device in the apartment. It still felt like someone, no, something, was in the room with me. I checked the hallway camera on my phone again. Still no footage. No one delivering these bags. Not a shadow. Not even a sound. Later that night, I sat in silence, no lights, no music, no phone. I just sat there, trying to catch my breath, hoping nothing strange would happen. Then, the buzzer rang. A sharp, loud sound. It made me jump off the couch. This was the first time anyone had buzzed. I didn't move. I just stood there, frozen, waiting. Then it buzzed again. Longer this time. So I walked to the door and opened it slowly. The hallway was empty. But this time, there were 2 bags sitting on the floor. One was black. The other white. Just like before. But the white one had a little red string tied to it. I looked down the hallway, still empty. I took the bags inside, locked the door, and placed them on the counter. Then my phone vibrated. A voice message. I didn't recognize the number. I pressed play. At first, I thought it was just static, but as I listened closer, I could hear 2 people whispering. One of them was my voice. I was saying something I'd never said before. It didn't make any sense, but the other voice was deeper, rougher, and it kept repeating one word. Soon, I threw the phone on the couch and took a step back. That's when I noticed something strange. The chalkboard I kept in the kitchen, blank for days, now had writing on it. 3 words, not in my handwriting. "We hear you." I couldn't sleep that night. Every sound felt louder. Every shadow seemed to stretch too far. I kept checking the chalkboard. The message, "We hear you," hadn't changed. But it didn't fade either. In the morning, I tried to act normal. I made my own breakfast for once. No orders. No deliveries. But just before noon, I heard it. 3 knocks. Not the buzzer. Just soft, slow knocks on the front door. I froze. 3 knocks. Then silence. I waited, counting each second, my heart pounding in my ears. Finally, I crept to the door and looked through the peephole. Someone stood there, wearing a dark green hoodie and holding a bag of food. I opened the door just a crack. "Did I order something?" I asked. The man looked up. His face was blank. No emotion, just empty eyes. He nodded once and held out the bag. I didn't move. Then he whispered something. At first, I thought I misheard, but he said it again. "You think it? We bring it. That's all." Then he turned and walked away. Not down the stairs. Not toward the elevator. He walked straight into the dark corner at the end of the hallway and vanished. I stood there shaking, still holding the bag. I ran back inside and dumped the food on the counter. Inside the box wasn't food. It was a mirror. Well, like a makeup mirror. But the surface rippled. It didn't show my reflection. It showed someone watching me from the hallway. Same green hoodie. Same face. But this time, he was smiling. I dropped it. It didn't break. Just spun on the counter for a second, like it was laughing at me. I haven't opened the next delivery since. But they keep coming. And now, they're getting closer to what I'm thinking, not just what I'm craving. I wasn't alone anymore. My best friend Julia came to visit. I didn't tell her everything, just that I'd been getting weird food deliveries I didn't order. She thought I was exaggerating. "It's probably just a glitch or a prank," she said, laughing. "You always get paranoid when you're hungry." I forced a smile, but I kept my phone off. I made sure there were no food apps running. Julia brought snacks. Chips. Soda. Things we actually picked out ourselves. For the first time in weeks, I felt normal. We watched a movie. Talked about dumb things. I even started to forget. Until the knock came. It was quiet, but sharp. Like they were knocking just for me. Julia looked at me. "Did you order something?" I shook my head. My mouth was suddenly dry. She stood up. "I'll get it." "No." I jumped to my feet. But she was already at the door. She opened it, and the hallway was empty. No one there. No food bag. Just a single piece of paper on the doormat. She picked it up and frowned. "What is this?" It was a printed receipt. No restaurant name. No address. Just one line. "Dinner for 2, confirmed." Julia laughed nervously. "Okay, this is weird." I took the paper from her. The back had something handwritten. "You're not the only one watching." We both froze. Then the door slammed shut behind her. On its own. I swear I didn't touch it. The lights flickered. And from the kitchen, we heard the oven beep. It had turned on. By itself. Neither of us had touched it. But the timer was set. 23 minutes. We didn't know what it was cooking. We didn't want to wait and find out. I tried not to eat. That was my solution. Just stop thinking about food. Don't feel hungry. Maybe then it would all go away. But the body doesn't forget. Hunger creeps in like a whisper, soft at first, then louder, until it's all you can hear. I distracted myself with loud music, brushing my teeth, chewing gum. I even tried sleeping through it. But at 2:17 a.m., I woke up, starving. My stomach growled so loud it echoed in the silence. And right then, as if it heard, my phone lit up. No message. Just the delivery app, somehow open. I never touched it. And there was a new order being processed. Spicy ramen with soft-boiled egg and green onions. Exactly what I had been craving. I never said it out loud. I didn't even think it clearly. It was just a feeling. I tried to cancel the order. The screen froze. Then it went black. A knock came at the door. 3 short knocks. Then silence. I didn't move. I waited, hoping it was a mistake, hoping they would leave. Then the knock came again, but softer, like fingertips brushing the wood, almost like it was petting the door. My heart was racing. I crept toward the peephole, and I saw no one, just the food bag sitting on the doormat, perfectly upright. No footsteps around it, no delivery driver walking away. I backed away, but curiosity won. I opened the door just a little and reached for the bag. It was warm, smelled exactly like my favorite ramen. My stomach twisted in both hunger and fear. I opened it. No food inside. Just a mirror wrapped in takeout napkins. And in the reflection, I saw myself. Except my reflection smiled. I wasn't smiling. It winked at me, then faded. Gone. No ramen. No driver. Just me, the mirror, and the empty bag. I dropped everything and slammed the door shut. From inside my bedroom, my speakers turned on by themselves. And a robotic voice whispered, "Don't lie. You're still hungry." I didn't want to eat anymore. I told myself I was done. I'd been throwing the deliveries out without opening them. It was the only thing I could think to do. But that night I smelled something strange. I had just come home from work. I dropped my bag, locked the door behind me, and stopped. The smell wasn't bad, it was familiar. Spiced. Like my mom's cooking. But she lived across the country, and I lived alone. I followed the smell to the kitchen. There, on my dining table, a plate. A real plate, not a delivery container. Silver fork next to it. And on it, food I hadn't made. It was butter chicken, the way I remembered it as a kid. Red, creamy, with that swirl of cream on top. Steamed rice shaped into a perfect dome beside it. I hadn't thought about that dish in years. And now it was here. I didn't order it. I didn't cook it. And my door had been locked all day. I didn't eat it. I threw it in the trash. The whole plate. I didn't even want to touch it. Then I locked every door, every window, and turned on every light in the apartment. But at 3:42 a.m., I woke up choking. Not on air. On food. My mouth was full, my throat burning from spices. My hands were shaking. I ran to the mirror. My lips were stained red. My teeth had rice in them. And behind me on my bed, the plate was back. Empty. Scraped clean. The fork resting on the pillow beside me. I hadn't eaten it. I don't remember doing it. But something fed me anyway. I'm scared to sleep. Because if they can feed me without asking, what else can they do? I tried covering every mirror in my apartment with towels and blankets. It sounds strange, I know. But after what happened last night, I didn't want to take any more chances. It was because of the bathroom. Around 2 a.m., I woke up again with that dry feeling in my mouth. No food this time, thank God. Just thirst. I went to the sink, turned on the faucet, and leaned in. That's when I noticed it. In the mirror, behind me. Not me, not a reflection. A man. Or something like a man. He was wearing a waiter's uniform. Black vest. White gloves. Standing completely still in the doorway behind me, holding a silver tray. I spun around instantly. There was nothing there. But when I looked back in the mirror, He was closer, now standing right behind me. I couldn't breathe. I screamed and dropped the glass in the sink. When I turned around again, there was still nothing. Just the sound of the broken glass falling into the drain. But the tray? It was sitting on my bathroom counter now, covered with a polished dome lid, like something out of a fancy restaurant. I didn't lift it. I ran out and slammed the door shut. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I finally worked up the courage to go back in. The tray was gone, but the steam on the mirror, it wasn't from the shower. It looked like someone had breathed onto the glass, and with one finger, written just one word: eat. I didn't sleep the night after the mirror. I couldn't. I kept every light on. I locked all the doors. Even the bathroom stayed shut with a chair jammed under the handle. I skipped work. I didn't leave my apartment. I didn't want to eat, drink, or even breathe too deeply. But the knock came anyway. 3 soft knocks. Just like always. I didn't move. I stayed frozen on the couch. Then came the voice. Your order has arrived. I hadn't ordered anything. My phone wasn't even on. I crept toward the door and looked through the peephole. He was there again. The same man. Black hat, black gloves, expressionless. Just standing there with a white paper bag in hand. No logo. No receipt. No emotion. I whispered, "Go away." He didn't. Instead, he slowly turned and walked down the hall, disappearing from view. I waited 10 minutes before opening the door. Nothing was there, except the bag. This time I didn't take it inside. I grabbed a broom and slid it across the floor back into the hallway, like I was pushing away a ticking bomb. I was done playing their game, but when I turned around, the table was set. 2 plates, 2 forks, 2 cloth napkins, and in the middle, the silver tray. It was back. I never brought it in. I never touched it, but it was there, gleaming under the light, like it had been waiting all along. This time, the lid was already off. On the tray was a mirror, and inside the mirror wasn't my reflection. It was him, the delivery man, sitting in my chair, wearing my clothes, smiling. He raised a fork to his mouth and slowly mimed taking a bite. Then he stared at me. I turned to run. The lights flickered out. I heard a chair move. Not behind me, but beside me. Something whispered in my ear. "You're the order now." I don't remember what happened next. I woke up hours later, lying on the floor. The mirror was gone. So was the table. But my front door was wide open. And on the welcome mat was a receipt. One line: "Thank you for feeding us." I don't answer knocks anymore, because I think the next order is me.